So last week for Weekend League, I went with a Serie A team, and it was good, but every team I came up against was a Premier League team. So for this week, I'm going to join them. I'm going to go for a sweaty Premier League team. The squad I'm about to show you costs around 500k on both consoles. I think it's just over 500 on PlayStation and just under on Xbox. That's at the time of recording anyway. Some player prices this year, they're pretty insane, but it just shows that people are willing to pay a lot more this year for a good team, because in previous FIFAs you wouldn't get players rated like 81 and 82 selling for over 50k. Anyway guys, in the comments below let me know what team you are going to be using for this week's Weekend League, and also if you could leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. Last week I used the 4-2-3-1 formation, which was one that I really liked, to be honest, but this week I'm going for the 4-2-3-1 second variation, just so I can try out some other players, but you'll see later on in the video that old habits die hard. So yeah. One thing I want to point out is, since defending is pretty hard this year, I am regularly favouring formations that have got two defensive midfielders, just because, yeah, I'm not too great at defending, but it is quite hard this year. It is hard to get used to. And also, one thing that let me down last week, I felt my team just didn't challenge enough aerially and maybe lacked some physicality in midfield, so this week, I've changed that. So with all that in mind, let's get into today's squad. The backline is as follows: Courtois, Aurier, Bailly, Rojo and Mr. Danny Rose. Starting off with Courtois. Now I used him a lot at the FIFA 18 capture event, and while I was there he was definitely my favourite goalkeeper, so I knew using him on the full version of the game he'd be pretty good, and honestly I think he's the best Premier League goalkeeper in the game this year. He doesn't come cheap though, he does cost just under 100k. And you've got to ask yourself, is any goalkeeper in FIFA really worth that amount? And the answer is probably not, but Courtois as a whole was solid and he pulled off some great stops, including 2 penalty saves. Aurier at right back, easy choice really. Pace, defending, physical, Aurier excels in all 3 of them areas and is 100% one of the best non-informed right backs that you can get on FIFA 18. Moving on to the centre backs, we start off with Eric Bailly. Now I was fortunate enough to pack him in a 2-player pack, and I'm glad I did because he's pretty expensive. However, you can see why. He's tall, he's fast, he's strong, he's got good work rates and some great defensive stats. Once again, he is one of the better centre backs you can buy on the whole game. Next to him is his Manchester United teammate Rojo. Now some of you may think that that might be an odd choice, but those of you who know me well know that I like my left centre back to be left footed and my right centre back to be right footed, and I just felt that Rojo was one of the better left footed centre back options. That was actually quite a mouthful. So yeah, Rojo gets the left centre back spot. He's nowhere near as good as Bailly, but he does an alright job. And finally at left back is Mr. Danny Rose. When it comes to Premier League fullbacks, on the right side you've got so much choice: Aurier, Bellerin, Walker, Valencia, and that's just to name a few. But for left back options, there isn't too many, so Rose was an easy choice, and he is great in that left back role. He's so good defensively. Moving on into midfield. Now like I said at the start of the video, I wanted some height and I wanted some physicality in my midfield this week, so I've probably gone with, you know, the 2 probably most obvious CDM options, but 2 very good options: Matic and Bakayoko. We'll start with Bakayoko. Now I did want to use Kante, but I looked at his price, and 200k for a defensive midfielder, no thank you, not for one who isn't an icon. So yeah, Bakayoko, the next best thing, and he is solid. I came up a lot against him in last week's Weekend League, and he stopped so many of my attacks, so this week I'm hoping he'll do the same for me, but obviously not stopping my attacks, stopping my opponent's attacks. He essentially is the cheap Kante, not as fast, but much taller. Talking of taller, his partner in defensive midfield is Matic, and he stands at 6'4", and he is going to dominate most midfield battles. And once again, I've gone for a left footer on the left and a right footer on the right, and these two, Matic and Bakayoko, are going to sit and defend, and they're going to sit and defend the defence. Slotting in that cam slot is Christian Eriksen, which, let's be honest, is an easy choice. He's been one of the best cams on FIFA for what, like 2 or 3 years now, and this year it's more of the same. The only difference this year is he's incredibly expensive, but he's worth it in my opinion. I love to run with my attacking mids, and Eriksen's actually perfect for that. He's agile, great with the ball at his feet, he passes and shoots really well, and the 5-star weak foot is awesome. So let's move on to the wide men and the striker, and immediately you're going to notice that I didn't go with a right mid. I've gone with 2 left edge players in Heung-min Son and Anthony Martial on the wings, and up top is Gabriel Jesus. So yeah, we better start off with Son at right mid. So he's on 7 chem, which I know some people won't like, but I honestly don't think that any full chem Premier League right mid is as good as an off-chem Heung-min Son. I'm happy to play him on 7 chem, and he's still absolutely incredible. So, you know, Son at right mid, that's what I'm going with. Left mid is Martial, and he's got a ridiculous price tag for a reason, because he's ridiculously good. Now, the records of Son and Martial, they're not the best due to them being used as super subs in other squads, and also being used a lot in squad battles, but with these two out wide, goals are guaranteed, and assists are guaranteed. And if you look at the front line, there's so much rotation available. Martial and Son can play cam or striker if needed, and they'll do a great job in either role. Up top is Gabriel Jesus. Now, hopefully I've got his name right, because most of you know, if you've watched a few of my previous videos, I suck at pronouncing names, so hopefully I got it right. Anyway, I was originally going to go with Lacazette, but I opted for a cheaper option in Jesus instead, and to be honest, I've loved him. It is a shame though that he no longer has 5-star skills, but on the ball, he is so good, and he can be an absolute nightmare for defences. So that is the team. Now, at the start of the video, I said that old habits die hard, and in some games, I'd change formation in-game, and I'd switch back to my favoured 4-2-3-1 formation, and then the team would look like this. And as you can see, I didn't even need to move anyone, because everyone still fits their role. So now let's take this team and let's put it into a game. As you can see, we came up against a pretty good team, similar to my Serie A team that I used in last weekend league, but he's got one of the new prime icons in that prime, Rui Costa. However, it would be us to strike first. Matic playing the ball through to Gabriel Jesus, and just like that, it's in the bottom corner. Very nice finish from the Brazilian. However, as you can see, some shocking defence from myself. I don't know why I slid in there. He eventually catches me out because once again I overcommit, and I concede. Now, credit to him, he kept his nerve and he scored, but that was some shocking defence from myself. And then he dabbed on me. So I saw that and I'm like, well, game on, game on. So just a few minutes later we do get ourselves a penalty, and I'm like, great, perfect opportunity to get our own back. And yeah, I got cocky and I tried to chip him and instantly regretted it. So yeah, but still, I wanted to get a goal. He dabbed on me. I wanted to get him back, and just after the hour mark, Gabriel Jesus gets himself on the score sheet again. So you know what's coming. You know what's coming. We're going to run round a bit, and we're going to hit him with some of his own medicine. A taste of his own with a little dab from Jesus. And just like that, we add 2-1 up. I actually really don't like that celebration. I only do it when people do it on me, and I probably should have known it was coming with the name of his team. Anyway, Gabriel Jesus with a fake, and then a fake stop, and then a goal. Beautiful stuff from him in front of net. Now that is something that I'm utilising a lot recently, using the fake shot and then using, I can't remember what it's called, like the fake stop, just to keep the ball still. And defenders just seem to like overcommit and slide by, and that opens up the chance to either pass or shoot. As you can see here, loads of space, and Gabriel Jesus puts the ball in the back of the net. Very nice goal from the young Brazilian again. And then after that goal, the guy started overcommitting a bit, which just opened up the game a lot. Gabriel Jesus unlucky not to get a fourth, but Martial is there to tap it home and pretty much wrap the game up and give us a 4-1 win. So pretty happy with that performance, and as you can see, Martial he's going to have a rest on the floor. Moving on to game number 2. And we match up against your standard BPL sweat squad. However, he was actually playing 2 wingers at centre mid, which I found to be quite interesting. Anyway, moving on into the game, Gabriel Jesus involved a lot again. Early on, we're going to get ourselves a goal with Heung-min Son's 5-star weak foot, whipping it in. Gabriel Jesus is going to get the header on it, sadly hit the post, but he is going to put the rebound in the back of the net. And like I said, Son plays that right mid role very well. Love that 5-star weak foot, and I love him in general in Ultimate Team. He's so freaking OP. Anyway, Eriksen, as you can see, just a casual Roberna cross into Martial, who makes it 2-0. And you're thinking, 2-0 in the first 20 minutes? Pretty easy game. However, look at that. So I'm playing these games at about 4 AM. I'm absolutely knackered, and yeah, mistakes happen, and yeah, I've just got no excuse for that. That was just tired. That was pure fatigue, and I made a huge mistake. And I was regretting it a few months later when he whips the ball in and Sane is just clean through and he puts the ball away very well into the side net. And just like that, my 2-0 lead is gone. However, it was a tight game and it did take us right till the very end to get the winning goal. And as you can see, Gabriel Jesus is the man of the moment, getting the goal in the 87th minute to make it 3-2, and that was the match-winning goal. I'm a bit annoyed I threw away the 2-goal lead, but we won the game in the end, and that is what matters. So, 2 games, 2 wins, and pretty good performances, especially the first one. So guys, that's the team I'll be using for this week's Weekend League. What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below. And also, be sure to tell me what team you'll be rocking with over the next few days. Anyway, if you could leave a like on the video, that would be awesome. Remember to leave a comment. But apart from that, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.